Hi everyone, it's Hack again. So, here's my spoiler review to talk about the good and bad things about Iron Man 3. Now, bear in mind, I still stand by with my rating for this movie. Heck, I intend to get it on Blu-ray, like one for Christmas or something like that. So, I still stand by that, but there's still some issues as well as some things to really praise about for this movie, so I'm gonna talk about them. Bad first, obviously. I still stand by with what I said with how the beginning started pretty rushed, because they kind of like shoved it right in our faces with the Mandarin appearing and having all these random moments where we're seeing little clips of him and him talking in voiceover and stuff like that, and just heading it out to us already with War Machine turning into Iron Patriots. So that was, that wasn't too great of a start for me personally. Let's see, what else? You know what? I'll just spit out the big problem that everybody's having an issue with, or close to everybody. And that's the Mandarin. So I mentioned that around halfway through this movie, it has a turn that is where people are going to be divided about this movie, and where it makes sense that, at the very least, it's a 77% on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. At this moment, anyway. So, yeah, like I said, I'd be quite the liar if I didn't say that I was pretty disappointed, and I really did feel like all my faith in the whole movie was going to crash and burn when I found out that the Mandarin was just an actor. Frick that. I expected the Mandarin, and I wanted the Mandarin. I mean, I'm not a huge expert on the comics, least of all with the Mandarin. I haven't read a whole lot on him, or at least not in the sense where I feel like I really dug into getting to know the character on a grand scale. With that said, finding out that he was an actor, or as my brother put it in his own video review for this movie, just a junkie, that was not okay. I mean, I felt better. I kind of felt better with everything else in the movie, because the rest of the movie saved the movie as a whole for me. So that helped me get over it, but holy crap! I mean, that's actually the thing about my brother's video review for this movie. I have a link here, so you can check out what he said. There's one thing that there are a lot of things that he pointed out very firmly. His review is way more negative than my review. So while I was all happy about this movie for the most part, he just downright thought it was terrible. And there were a lot, and his reasons were justified. They made perfect sense. But if there was one thing, just one thing, that I thought for the most part was kind of baloney with what he said, maybe that's a little too harsh, but you get what I'm saying. If there's one thing I really disagreed about with what he said, was that he thought the movie didn't take any risks. And honestly, I think what they did with the Mandarin automatically counts as a risk. Epically, without a doubt. 'Cause yeah, you expect the Mandarin, you want the Mandarin, and we get a totally different guy for a villain who claims to be the Mandarin, which I can, it's kind of a mix. I mean, for the general part, I don't really believe that that business guy, the Guy Pearce guy, whatever, to actually be the Mandarin. But I sort of see it concerning he is the main villain. He did have those little dragon tattoos or something, and he was beating the crap out of Iron Man for the most part, so But back to what I was saying. Yeah, it counts as a risk, in my point of view. I mean, all the other points where he said, where he proved that, or where he claimed that the film had no risks, I can agree. You know, Pepper and those airplane people didn't die, got me there. The villains turning out to be very similar in terms of the puppet and turning out to be the real guy, fair enough. But not really giving us the Mandarin when they give us all this hope that we really are getting the Mandarin, who, as my brother put it, is pretty much the Joker for Iron Man and something like that. Yeah, it's very gutsy. I'm pretty sure there are people who are pissed off like nobody's business that they didn't actually get the Mandarin. I eventually was alright with it, but I don't have any problem with anyone being pissed off. Any like deep loyal fans of Iron Man being pissed off beyond a doubt that they didn't get the Mandarin. And I say that from my own experience when it came to Spider-Man 3. You know, that really evil movie that has no right to exist. Sorry, memories. So, cause yeah, at least with that movie, they actually gave us Venom, which was who we were expecting. But we barely got it. That barely meant anything, considering we didn't really see Venom because he kept peeling off his face. So that ruined the movie on top of that whole bar scene. So, yeah. I can understand what people who hate this movie because of what they did with Mandarin is going through. Seriously, I feel ya. So, but yeah, there's no other way to explain it. They should have really that was quite the move they they took with not really giving us the Mandarin, even though they've given all this bullcrap claiming that we really are going to get the Mandarin. Yeah, that counts as a risk. That's a very, 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 very big risk. Okay, got that out of the way. What are the issues? There were things that I felt they could have gotten more into with a couple of things. One big example is the vice president and how he's apparently in league with AIM and whatever Guy Pearce's character's name is, and it's only because through their whatchamacallit that helps them heal and breathe fire and stuff like that. He's only doing it because through that that could help in helping his daughter have a leg again. So I thought there should have been more of that, because the way they put it didn't really look like they had a lot to. It felt like it wasn't entirely needed. It came out of nowhere. We didn't really see him again until the very end, where he gets arrested for being in league with the villains. So, yeah, that's honestly how I felt about that. Okay, so that's most of the bad stuff that comes to mind. So let's talk about the good. I liked how bearable the kid was. You know, he pulled off his performance pretty well. There was I didn't have I there was no point where I was like really hating him or something like that. And he had some cute moments with Tony, so I wasn't angry at all. I wasn't frustrated or super annoyed. So when you put that into a perspective, as far as something you don't really you didn't exactly really want to see in a movie like Iron Man 3, that's not bad. That's a definite pro for that kid, as far as not just for Iron Man, but as far as like a film in general, I guess. So yeah, he should be proud of his performance, because he didn't annoy me, and it seems like he didn't really annoy a lot of people, or at least not that I've heard. So yeah, good on him. Good on the ending. I will agree, as far as a conflict goes in terms of story, that it wasn't much of a risk that they didn't actually kill Pepper, but that doesn't make me any less happy that, she didn't die. Because, yeah, did I think at all that she was actually dead when she fell into that ball of fire? Yes, there was a good moment where I was like, did they actually kill him? Not him, excuse me, her. Did they actually kill her? So, I mean, I figured that it most likely is not the case, considering they did inject her with extremists. I think that's the name of the serum or whatever. But, that's kind of how it works sometimes. You're not completely sure. And they got all that shrapnel out of his heart. That was like, wow, I didn't even think they were going to do that. That's awesome. That's kind of and it's also kind of you'd think they might have considered doing that earlier, because, yeah, that was, why didn't they try to do that earlier? You'd think they would have some sort of story that where doctors would at least try something like that in the comics. I'm not completely complaining, but I get the feeling that's going to be one of those things where people will be like, yeah, I wonder why they didn't do that before, just for the sake of making sure that the next time the suit fails or something, it doesn't fail so that the arc reactor totally fails and thus the shrapnel gets into his heart. Yeah. But again, I'm not complaining, because as far as an ending goes, it totally worked. It was a good way of helping him come back anew. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way to explain it. Yeah, I like the post-credit scene. That wasn't the greatest thing they've done, but yeah, it was cute. It was nicely done. So yeah, that's all I got. Excuse me again with throwing thrusting a bag of pennies into the ground over Spider-Man 3. Even if you understand, I should apologize for throwing a fit, but yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.